7. So we are only looking at arithmetic sequences, which are ones that you add or subtract. Okay? So how do I get the next number here? What am I doing to get each number here? You're adding 3 to the previous term. So these are called terms. T1, term 1, T2, term 2, T3, term 3, T4, etc., all the way up. All right? Sometimes the first term, T1, is called, it has the symbol A, which is I'm going to use. That's what that formula is used. But A, T1 are the same thing. Okay? Now, if you subtract T2 from T1, that is, T2 is what number? 10. Minus 7 gives you 10 minus 7. T3 minus T2, which is 13 minus 10, you get 3. T4 minus T3 is 16 minus 13, you get 3. So 3 is called the common difference. It's the number that you're adding to get to the next one or subtracting, okay? And you can always find the common difference by subtracting successive terms, i.e. T2 minus T1 or T4 minus T3, etc. Okay? So common difference here is 3. Common difference will be given the symbol D for difference. All right. Everybody okay with that? Okay. So what's the common difference for this sequence right here? 16, 13, 10, 7. Negative 3. Right? If you go 13 minus 16, you get negative 3. Or 7 minus 10 is negative 3. So the common difference is negative 3. All right. Are we good? I'm not going to worry about that. So like I said before, our first term is called T1 or A. Common difference will be given the symbol D. Okay? Flip the page, please. What is A and D in each of these sequences? So what does A represent? Yeah, A is the first term. So in the first one, A is negative 8. What's the common difference? D for that sequence. You're not saying that with any confidence, though. 10? It's 10, right? To go from here to here, I'm adding 10. Go from there to there, I'm adding 10, etc. Okay, so your common difference is D, 10. What about the second one? What's A and what's D? What's A? 15. What's the common difference? Negative 5, right? Because you're going down. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Let's look at this sequence here. First term is 2. So T1 is 2, right? Second term is 12, which is 2 plus 1 times 10. You're adding 10, essentially, to get 12. Everybody agree with that? Third term is 22, which is the same as 2 plus 2 times 10, 20. Give me 22. If you write these in symbols, first term, T1 is A. T2 is A plus 1 times D, common difference, that's your D value, that's your A value. The third term is A plus 2 times D, right? The fourth term is A plus what? 3D. What's the fifth term? What's the 30th term? No. Yeah. A plus 29D. Notice that this 5 and this 4 are, it's always one less, right? So if you're going to write that as a formula, which they're going to do it at the bottom here, we're going to say the nth term, n, is the first term, A, plus, if it's term 30, this number is one less than that number, right? So if this is n, what do I write? N minus 1 times D. That is the formula to find any term in a sequence, an arithmetic sequence. Okay? This one over here, they're just going T1 plus N minus 1 times D. But those are the same formulas. And they are right at the bottom. And just like all formulas in this class, you don't need to memorize them. They will be given to you. Okay? All you need to remember is this is, let me erase that. N is the term number. So N is the position of the term in the sequence, i.e. the term number. A is the first term, or T1 is the first term, and we've already talked about, and D is the common difference. Okay? So let's look at some of the questions. Everybody okay with that? Arithmetic sequence. This formula is only for arithmetic sequences. There's different formulas for geometric. Okay, but we don't look at those. Okay, here's our arithmetic sequence. -6, -1, 4, 9. First thing is you always need to know what A and D are. So what's A? Okay, what's D? 5. Everybody agree with that? Okay. Determine the formula for the general term of the sequence, i.e. find an equation to predict each term. That's what they're saying. They're saying find Tn. That's what they're saying. So on the previous page, we have Tn. I'll scroll back to this in a sec. This is Tn. This is the formula. Okay, so you just write out the formula. Tn is A plus n minus 1 times D. Okay, do I know A? Yes. Do I know D? Plug them into the formula. So A is -6, n minus 1, and D is 5. So now we need to get rid of the brackets, just like polynomials. What do I do to get rid of the brackets? No, not the -6. Not that. The 5, right? Because the 5 is being multiplied. So the 5 goes into both of these. -6 plus 5n minus 5. Okay, now what? Collect your like terms. So -6, -5 gives me -11. So I get 5n minus 11. That formula will tell me every single term I want. Okay? For example, in question B, it says find the 12th term. So that means n is equal to 12. Just plug n is equal to 12 into that formula. So you go T12. Sorry? You put 12 in for n. What's 5 times 12? 60 minus 11 is 49. So the 12th term in that sequence would be 49. If I said, now look, you could just, if I asked for the 12th term,